Our story begins with 4 young boys. We shall simply name them Friend 1, 2, 3, and 4. They used to scare each other each night by telling each other horrifying stories about spirits and murderers, and in particular, stories about Slender Man. You can imagine the excitement in the group of friends when one day, a story entitled "Strange Being Sighted in Local Forest" was published in the newspaper along with this photo. They read on. A local resident who was walking through the forest on the edge of town claims he witnessed an abduction of a young woman. The man, aged 31, took a photo of the being as soon as he spotted it closing in on the woman. I saw the girl roaming around aimlessly, and just as I was about to ask her if she needed assistance, the creature seemed to disappear out of thin air. He told this to the reporter. Is this as true as the man claims, or is it yet another publicity stunt? The friends grinned at each other, and they silently agreed. They were going on a Slender Man hunt. The next day, they were ready. Their plan was to camp in the forest clearing overnight and try to spot the Slender Man. They made a bet, too, to make it interesting. They all pitched in their money and agreed that the last one to chicken out would claim the winnings. As night fell, the temperature did too. The friends began wrapping themselves up in their sleeping bags and sitting around the fire. Friend 3 decided to try and scare the rest of the friends by playing a trick on them. He wrapped a blanket around himself and fled off into the trees. When he burst into the clearing, the sounds of screams met him. He laughed, expecting to find his friends on the ground, looking scared, annoyed, and, well, impressed. But all his eyes found was one of his friend's shoes. Friend 3 heard the screams again, and this time he listened closely. The screams weren't just scared screams. These were screams of torture. Friend 3 ran, shouting the names of his friends, but only screams answered his calls. After 20 minutes of sprinting through the forest, Friend 3 dropped to his knees, panting. He felt something warm splashing on the back of his head. Curious and frightened, he looked up to see Friend 4's body hanging above him. The corpse had been pierced through the heart with a sharp branch, the branch still attached to the tree. More blood dripped onto Friend 3's dumbstruck face. Another scream snapped him back into reality, and he ran in the general direction of the pained cry. Through the thick trees, he saw 2 silhouettes. One was tall, thin, and had freakishly long arms. The other was a young boy. The strangely long arms reached out and silenced the boy by snapping his neck. Slender Man's blank face turned slowly towards Friend 3, and in an instant, the creature was sprinting towards him. Friend 3 ran through the thicket, feeling the unnatural limbs snatching the air behind him. Just as he reached the clearing, another sprinting figure joined him. He glanced sideways, tears streaming down his face. It was Friend 1. They both looked ahead of them and saw the edge of the town, a safe haven. As they jumped over a fallen log, Friend 1 was dragged backwards by his ankles, back into Slender Man's territory. Friend 3 ran to the side of the road. Opposite that, of the forest, and his legs collapsed. He looked up, the silent tears still streaming down his face, to see the figure of Slender Man fading into the trees. As he attempted to drag himself onto his feet, he noticed a pile of money the friends had bet on the roadside. He cautiously edged over to it and picked it up. Written on the top of the pile was a note. In neat, slender writing, it read, S-O-O-N, soon.